Okay, we can go.
Finally.
Where's the parking stub? We need to get it validated.
I gave it to you.
No, you didn't. I gave it to you.
No way. Maybe you gave it to a shuck.
Me? I never touched that ticket.
Well, now we're gonna have to pay the maximum charge.
We? It's your car, buddy.
Can't we split it?
Sure, you two can.
I will take public transportation.
I dare you.
Well, it appears that the game is already over. We'll just have to keep an eye on things. They've decided that they're not going to play for the regulatory amount of overs. Yeah, that's the end. Well.
Probably one of the strange things, like we were talking about before, that they would normally have to get to day one, and then have to come back day two, and try and get a double result, or shake hands on day two. Not day one, call it. But considering how slow the game's moving there, it probably wouldn't have done much good. They would have bowled 14 overs, they might have lost a couple of wickets, they might have scored 20 runs. It wouldn't have really achieved a lot.
Yeah, well, it's quite surprising. This has taken us at Channel 8 aback, because we were prepared for coming back here tomorrow to see the finale of this, and it appears it is now confirmed that that's the end of the game. A 2-day game, a game that is scheduled for 3 days to make sure that it gets completed, has been completed in less than one. The game, day one, has not even come to an end, and we're already saying goodbye, so we will not be coming back to you tomorrow. And we haven't even used up our third battery. We normally have one battery for each quarter of the game, and we're still on our third quarter battery, so there's one battery that just has not been removed out of its packet yet. That's how remarkable this little game has been for us. So everyone is just sorting around, mellowing around, dawdling, what other verbs you'd like, and that's everyone's there.
Probably going to be talking to each other about the unusual circumstance that they find themselves, that despite the fact that, yeah, it's still day one, that everyone's happy that the game's done. Probably Mill Park wishing Diamond Creek the best of luck there for next week, and probably having some beverages, perhaps some alcoholic beverages, which I know if you're not on the commentary box, you don't mind one, Chukka.
Absolutely. So, wow, it's all come to an end, and there are the Mill Park players, there are the Diamond Creek players. Yes, so now we all get our Sundays off, and you know, it's quite amazing that I was worried that I would have to reschedule the Channel 8 production meeting on Monday, but now could have had it on Sunday. And a very nice round of applause there. High fives by the two players the three people who are sitting out near the door, which is near the canteen area and the stairs, and they walk into the darkened pavilion where we cannot see them. And now we move on to the Mill Park team, who are must be very disappointed, being able to get into 4th place through percentage, and then you end up playing against the top team, who is Premiership favourites, who has been the best team of this competition by a significant margin. So you just barely sneak into the finals. You're playing against the most awesome team in the competition, has to show for itself, and you end up producing a performance that is so abysmal that the game does not even go its statutory regulatory minimum. That is how bad things are right now for Mill Park.
Well, it shocks me really when you think about it. Their percentage told us that they're a team who can get the job done, particularly with the bat. Remember, this is the same team who last time they met got 230, although being at Mill Park Secondary College, a bit more a high-scoring ground. You had guys like Johnson making 100 there, and several contributors across the board there. But this team today just were blown out the water there. There were a couple of leg before decisions we'll talk about in the wrap. But aside from that, it was just good old-fashioned bowling. They were just too strong, Diamond Creek there. And we'll also talk about who they prefer to face next week there. But one of the advantages Diamond Creek will have is that they can actually go to the game tomorrow and watch who they might play next week. That's something that not every side has the luxury of doing.
Yeah, that will be quite an advantage, and they can just keep an eye on these two teams, because these two teams are pretty evenly matched. They've got similar number of points, and it would be very interesting to see what's happening in day 2 of the other semi-final, the 2v3. Now they have the luxury, and obviously today was a very warm day, and it would have taken something out of the players, but there's no question of being, you know, physically exhausted or overwhelmed by the physicality of the match, because it's all over. You can literally, if you need to, stay home and rest all day tomorrow and prepare yourself for what is happening next weekend. So all wonderful advantages for Diamond Creek, and there's just the one person, 2 people, the scorers, are just sitting at the scoring table. The rest of the 2 marquees are empty, and I'm sure they'll be packed away not long from now. So it seems that we've discussed most of the important elements of the game as far as it as far as the future is concerned. But let's just go through what we've seen today. So we can start off by pointing out that Mill Park won the toss and batted first, and elected to bat, and things pretty much went off to a horrifically bad start right from the beginning, and so they were able to survive the first 2 overs without experiencing any damage, but from then on the collapse and the fire and the tremendous nightmare began. So they lost the first wicket in the 3rd over, giving them a score of 1 for 5.
Exactly right. Zivanovic, they're playing one to Sul that didn't move back in, held its line and got the outside edge for that cover drive attempt, safely through to Sony, who never looked like dropping it.
Then there was a partnership of 7 dot balls, before in the 5th over we saw 2 wickets fall in consecutive, with 1 interregnum deliveries. So we had a 2nd wicket, 2 for 5.
Yeah, exactly right there. This one was Mackenzie Smith there, copying an in-swinger from Saul that we thought might have been going down leg, but ended up getting the index finger of umpire Norman there. Probably the least out of the 2 LBs, and we'll talk about the other one in a moment.
And then barely a moment had passed before the 3rd wicket fell in the same over, just a little while later, giving the score an incredible 3 for 6.
This was Narasimhan there, getting bowled by an absolute peach of a Yorker there from Sul there. Starting on about leg stump and swinging back into middle and off. No chance of clamping down on it and being out bowled there, and it's kept Diamond Creek right on top at that point.
And then, thankfully, there was a bit of a partnership of, let's see, 1, 2, 6, 9 deliveries, 9 legal deliveries and 10 deliveries overall, before in the 7th over there were 2 more wickets that fell. So the score went from 3 for 13 to 4 for 13. So the 4th wicket.
Exactly right. So we've got Vidar Paframan was the 5th one to go. He was probably the most disappointed, actually saying a few words to the umpire there after his LB decision. This is one that still started outside off and it came back in. Ended up leaving it alone, and we thought may have just been clipping the off stump, may have been missing the off stump as well. So it's one of those half and half ones. The umpire decided the index finger had to be raised.
And then just a few deliveries later, there was, quite remarkably, the 5th wicket to fall, 5 for 13.
Exactly right there. This one was Quera. He was LBW, the most plumb of the 3 LBWs there, on the back foot there. Hitting him probably knee rollish, maybe even just below the knee roll. ended up having to cause another index finger being raised.
So finally, we got a good partnership going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 overs, that's 42 balls plus 3, which is 45 balls. So a 45 ball partnership for the 6th wicket. And then finally, after much defence, much hard work, the partnership was broken and the score became 6 for 23.
Exactly right there. This was McMaster getting bowled by Nick Island there. He was keeping it tight as it was, and he kept playing at those deliveries that were coming into the stumps, but this one left alone and ended up taking out the off stump there. It wasn't great batting, to be honest with you there, but it was also good bowling there from Ireland.
And then just a couple of overs later, we then saw the 7th wicket fall, which saw to the drinks break, which was 7 for 25.
Yeah, this is very longer. They're just not getting near it in the end of the day there. Ireland bringing it back in as he always had, and it just couldn't get near it and ended up clean bowling him there. One of the 3 bowls that Ireland got in the innings there. It was too good bowling.
And then this was another situation where the wickets all happened at one end, and so in terms of the 16th and 18th over, they were wicketless overs, and then on the 15th, 17th, and then the 19th over, there were wickets. So on the 19th over, it became 8 for 26.
You're exactly right there. This one was Kiddo there, chopped on there, playing certainly past the line of the ball there. After it swung back in, it was looking at that 4th and 5th stump line, playing it as if it was the 6th or 7th stump line there, and chopping it onto the stumps there. So ended up being the 3rd last wicket.
So then we have another long partnership for the 9th wicket, which lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 overs plus 3 balls plus 1 ball. So that's 46 balls. So another very, a crease occupying partnership, and that pushed the score up to 38 when the 9th wicket fell.
This was the big one of Johnson there, who had gotten all of the scoring at that point in time, unless your name is extras. Kept knocking around those 2s against Perrin and Farron Price, but this time found himself being clean bowled there by Sewell, the 6th wicket. And I think that one would have meant the most for Sewell there, the fact that while he still ran through the top order there, to get their best batsman out there to be one of the 6 wickets he got for the innings there, it would have been a big run for him.
And then we saw a little bit of a highlight in the second last over, the 29th, where we saw the only boundary to happen in the entire innings, and then that highlight was short-lived because in the very next over the final wicket fell.
Exactly right. McMaster, who would hold up pretty well in the end, although only scoring 9, he was the 2nd highest scorer behind Johnson there, but ended up being caught at the first slip region of the bowling of Farron Price there, and giving him his only wicket.
So let's have a look now at the batting scorecard, and as we said, it was pretty much abysmal for everyone except for the one batsman to score 22 and occupy the crease for a long time, and then the next best was number 10 with 9. So only 2 batsmen to score 5.
Well, you can even go lower. The 3rd highest scorer was McDonald batting 11 with 3 not out. So no more than 4. Only 2 more than 4. It's just poor at the end of the day. Mill Park, although there's a big gulf between 1st and 4th, and it shouldn't be unexpected because it happens every year, 1st and 4th. But when your 4th ranked team doesn't play well, then this becomes a disaster like we've seen this afternoon.
Okay, so we can see this scorecard, and it's just single-figure scores for almost the entirety, and then sundries, of course, did a very good contribution as well, ending up being bowled out for 50. So let's now have a look at the bowlers for Diamond Creek, and we have Sewell, 6 for 22.
Exactly right there. One of the top 30 bowling figures of all time. Was only really a wicket away from being a top 10er, and that's all in the semi-final there. So that shows how important it was, or how good it was, in fact, for Sewell. And of course, it was important because it got him a date in the grand final.
And Ireland got the other ones 3 for 1.
Exactly right there. He just kept pitching the ball up there. Did a fantastic job, just bringing the ball back in constantly, always causing the batsmen to plate the ball, never really letting up. And of course, Farron Price also got his 1 wicket, making up the 10.
Well, monumental stuff, like 6 for 22 is monumental, 3 for 1 is monumental, and it just demonstrates just what a phenomenal bowling performance. And you got someone like Poon who just ends up with none for 12 and just becomes, it just disappears because of all the supreme excellence of his teammates. Alright, so that was the end of the first innings. That was Mill Park all out for 50, and quite an abysmal score for a semi-final. A semi-final. This is your big opportunity to, you know, topple the premiership favourites, get a spot into the grand final, and really give a bit of a scare to whoever you're competing in the 2v3 semi-final. But that didn't come about, and it was all over. And so now we just have to deal with the response, and the response, probably you'd say that Diamond Creek did not have the best batting response that you could have ever hoped for. Losing 3 wickets. I mean, you can explain losing 1 wicket early on, and then, you know, maybe you could excuse 2 of those wickets, but I think losing 3 wickets is a bit much.
It probably depends on how you look at it. Let's just say the roles were reversed and Diamond Creek was batting first, and they were resuming at 3 for 53 off 24. That's not a bad position. You can get yourself to 150, 160 from there. And we talked about it here on the commentary overall, that being a good score. Especially when you've got Milner and Wright batting well, you've got Watson still to come there, and Tassoni as well. That's still enough batting to get a good score there. So I suppose it just depends on how you look at it there. Ideally, you want obviously only 1 or 2 wickets at tops when you're chasing a low score. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the end of the world.
So the first wicket fell in just the 2nd over, and that meant the score was 0 for 1 loss.
Exactly right there. This was Pato there playing probably a little bit too late, his leg length there. Although sometimes it's a touch sort of shot there, what you want to do is still make sure it's nowhere near the keeper. It ended up being quite comfortably taken by Johnson down the leg side and gave Mill Park a sniff early on.
And then there was a very long partnership, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 overs plus 4 balls, which is 70 deliveries. So a very long 70 deliveries worth partnership for the 2nd wicket, ending up going into the 14th over before the 2nd wicket fell, giving the score 2 for 17.
Exactly right. This was Merritt there this time, going out leg before for just 8. He'll probably be a little disappointed. He's batted a little bit lower a lot this summer there, and got the opportunity to bat a bit high there when they rested Watson down the order. So he would have been a little disappointed he couldn't make a bigger contribution. 41 deliveries is still good at the end of the day, because on a quick ground you can turn that into a 20. And that's a contribution, but yeah, just copped a good delivery and found a front LB.
And then there was a short partnership for the 3rd wicket, which involved some flashy shots but didn't really go anywhere, didn't stick around for very long. And then the 3rd wicket fell, which meant the score was 3 for 33 in the first ball of the 18th over.
Exactly right. This was Mitch McDonald there playing down the leg side. Got a bit more on it than what Pato did, but it was a fantastic catch by Johnson. Him along with Bellingham have the 2 catches of the summer for me. Those catches down the leg side for keepers are really tricky to do. So well done Johnson on that instance there. It meant they actually found their 3rd wicket, and unfortunately for their sake, that was it.
So let's just note this, that with the run rate, so after 10 overs, Diamond Creek were on a score of 16, going at about 1.5. Then after 15 overs, they were on 28, so they had boosted to just short of 2 runs an over. And then by the end, they faced 24 overs, and the score was 53. So that was a little bit more than 2 runs an over. So the run rate kept increasing for Diamond Creek throughout their innings. Obviously it's a very small sample size, we've only got 24 overs to talk about, but in terms of what they actually did, they increased their run rate throughout and ended up on quite a, you know, as you say, if they were batting in the first innings, 53 after 24 overs, with 44 overs to go, you could easily imagine a very, very nice score on the cards there.
Exactly right there, and a lot of that was Miller at the end of the day, so from a team balance point of view, they'd obviously like some of the other guys to maybe contribute a little bit more. But they were progressing well. They were right on top in the run chase. If it had to go longer, then they could have batted longer, could have made a much bigger score. As it turns out, it wasn't required.
So, like I said, the second wicket partnership was obviously the most important in terms of ensuring that nothing disastrous happened and Diamond Creek were bundled out for a itsy score and the game actually continued on, or even a Mill Park victory. So that second wicket partnership was the key, and it doesn't look that impressive in terms of runs because only one person made double figures, but in terms of crease occupation, they both faced 40 balls and they both saw through the worst that Mill Park could throw at them, because once you'd faced 15 overs and you'd only lost one wicket, or however the measure is, 13 overs before and you only lost one wicket, the game is over. Mill Park does not have the resources or the material needed to get 9 wickets for 30 runs.
Well, they needed to get on a roll, didn't they, there? They needed to make sure the equation was as easy as possible there. They need to have an equation where try and keep it to, if even possible, down to 20 runs, getting 2 or 3 wickets required there. Try and have at least as many runs per wicket required for their sake. But it never got to that point. Diamond Creek were always able to keep them at arm's length there, and then at times even greater than arm's length. So just not enough damage early on, and it made it just too difficult for them to work through their bowls.
And the other person of note is obviously the not-out batsman Milner, the captain, who you could argue that his contribution was just as significant because in terms of actually getting the runs that are needed to win the game, he was the one who did most of the work, scoring a very nice score in the 20s and pretty much seeing to the end. So he was the one who really led the Diamond Creek team to that run chase finale.
Well, exactly right there. He did a fantastic job. He even changed the momentum when it was just really stagnant, and it felt like chess at times there when it was McDonald and Merritt there. But Milner then got it going. He took advantage of some so-so bowling. It wasn't necessarily bad bowling, but it was just at the end of the day too many full tosses that he was able to leg glance there. Field placements wasn't fantastic, only having the deep fielder not trying to cut off the ones there. He really was just on top of Mill Park quite comfortably there, and you'd probably rank him close to alongside Ireland, not quite at the Sewell level of match influence, but he was up there.
Well, that's the end. That is our summary of the match, and as you can see, that we've all had our thoughts on what has happened, and it's significant that Diamond Creek are only dropped one game, well and truly the best team in the competition, and they have demonstrated, they have shown us what they are capable of with a monumentally terrific performance today. So with that, there's nothing more to discuss in terms of the match, and so we're going to take a break now and we're going to wrap up things here, and that will be the end of the Channel 8 broadcast here for this match in the F2 semi-final. So don't go away. The finale of the post-game show is just after this break.
Little tomcat, stay close to me, 'cause there are clouds on the horizon and a chill on the breeze. We're alone here, but don't you be scared. I've got a calloused hand, a farmer's tan, and I'm happy to share. You and I will both get by, just promise you won't stray. All that I need is some dirt and a seed, and I will feed you till the summer blows whispering in the meadow or a noise in the shade. I'll defend you and lead you from harm. If you should find yourself in peril, I will guard you in my arms. You and I will both get by. Just promise you won't stray. All that I need is some dirt and a seed, and I will feed you till the summer blows away. I've seen people come and depart. With everyone there's a start and there's an end. I'm sick and tired of failed desire. What I really need is just a friend. Little tomcat, don't let me down, 'cause I have spent so long forsaken in this lonely old town. You don't judge me or tell me I'm wrong. If you will take me as I am, then I will take you along. You and I will both get by. Just promise you won't stray. All that I need is some dirt and a seed, and I will feed you till the summer blows away. All that I need is some dirt and a seed, and I will feed you till the summer blows away.
They moved the holiday to a Monday, so it's a 3-day holiday. Then they want to leave on Friday to take full advantage of it. But everyone's leaving on Friday, and everyone wants to beat the traffic, so they leave on Thursday. And if you're leaving on Thursday, why not Wednesday night? And you can't come back on Monday, that's still a holiday. And you can't come back on Tuesday, because everybody comes back on Tuesday, so you outsmart everybody and you come back on Wednesday. So now you're leaving on Wednesday and coming back on Wednesday, and suddenly a 1-day holiday is now a week.